don't care. You see me, my wife, you can talk to me. I'ma smoke you. You know what's going on with me. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit. The only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Soft. It's the only thing I believe in. That's it. Keeping it discreet. That's my only rule. Anything goes on.
YouTube, it's your Uncle Marco. And today's video is Gucci Mane standing on business? So if you're ever discussing hip hop, particularly rappers that represent the streets, sooner rather than later, Gucci Mane's name is guaranteed to come up. Gucci entered the game in the mid-2000s with a string of hood hits that would later turn into hood classics. During the time, he also was tied to a string of criminal activity, from fights to shootouts, being charged with murder, in and out of jail, and even a stint in prison, all while dropping new music helped turn Gucci Mane to not only an Atlanta legend, but also an East Atlanta icon. His last street altercations landed him in federal prison, where he spent a few years and came out a changed man, both mentally and physically. After being released from federal prison, you can see Gucci on Instagram constantly with his wife, Keisha Kayor, and out and about with his friends, one of which is P, who is the CEO of Quality Control Music. Now, P is responsible for the careers of Migos, City Girls, and even Lil Baby, just to name a few. Now, you will see Gucci putting up pics with P numerous times, and also seeing them do things on Instagram like cashing out at the casino together. Now, P was even the best man at Gucci Mane and Keisha Kayor's wedding. But I eventually noticed something. For the last year, you no longer saw Gucci Mane doing that anymore. It made me think to myself, why? A little over a year ago in May 2023, paperwork surfaced on P being an informant. The paperwork was very blurry at first on the blogs, and P quickly dismissed the claims with this statement from his Instagram page. Now, this came out a few months after they did the big $300 million deal where they sold Quality Control to a foreign investor. So this is what he said. He said, I see that 300 million got all them hating ass N-words mad back home. Anybody know me? Know my character. Our culture is so effed up. It's sad y'all live in this imaginary street dream. I'm changing lives and I'm changing my family curse. I don't got no love for no N-word that try to unalive me or mine. I ain't in the streets, never wanted to be. I played the hand I was dealt and made something out of it. Y'all bum ass N-words should do the same. Stop glorifying dumb shh. RB to my dog Q, an innocent man with 5 kids who lost his life to a bum ass N-word who didn't value his own. I'm a goat. Don't ever confuse me with a rat. Now take that fraudulent incident report and stick it up y'all ASS. I love my freedom, so stop playing with it. Peace. So a few days after this, the paperwork reemerged yet again, but this time it was in 4K and it was very much so verifiable. All right, so let me give y'all a breakdown on how the situation went. So in the late 2000s, P went to see his homeboy Q. Q stayed in the trap house, right? So while P was over there, Q had to do some things, so he left P in his crib and he went out and handled his business. So while Q was gone, a guy named Keon came to the house trying to buy some weed from Q, but Q wasn't there. So P told him, listen, man, he out walking the dog, come back later. Cool. Keon left. So eventually Keon came back and Q was there at home. So he was talking to Q, trying to get some weed from him. One thing led to another, and Keon ended up unaliving Q and also putting a few holes in P. P ran away and got away, right, through the side door. He ended up making it to another apartment in the complex. So basically, both of them found out right then and there that Keon is a stick-up kid. Now, one thing about it, when you in that drug game, this is what come with it. This is a package deal. Every drug deal, when you got drug deals, you're going to have stick-up kids. It's a package deal. So you should always be prepared for it. Nonetheless, let's continue with the story. So what happened was he ended up telling the person that lived there to call the police. So not only did he tell him call the police, he ended up talking to the police as well. But he didn't have much information on Keon. He never heard of him. He never saw him before. All he knew is like he was around 6 foot, right? Cool. So P ended up hitting the streets and basically talking to people. And when he was getting information on who Keon was, he was also relaying that information to the police. So a situation happened one time when he ran into Keon at Lenox Mall. They got into it. He was trying to run down and fight Keon and get it popping. But what happened was Keon ended up backing away and running to his car to get the strap. I'm guessing Keon didn't really think he could take P. You know, P is a big boy. So that's why he ran and got the strap. When he got the strap, he came back out trying to lay P down. P ran away, ran back in the mall, and that was the end of that. So eventually, P goes to the police and he got more information now. He tells them, listen, this guy name is Keon, such and such, and he was recently shot at the club. So the police, when they got that information, they like, okay, they just do their little research. They put 2 and 2 together because Keon also went by the name Stunner. So they was able to take the nickname, cross-reference it with who was shot recently at the club, and they went and picked up Keon, right? Cool. So Keon in jail, P writing all type of information, right? He's the key witness in this case, right? So eventually Keon writes a letter to the judge basically telling him, listen, man, this guy is lying on me. And the only reason he's doing this is because he shot me in the club back in April. And I think it was 2009. Back in April, he shot me in the club, right? So he basically saying P is the one who shot him in the club. And what P ended up doing was going to the police after when he found out that Keon was still alive. Because you got to remember something. When you try to go and lay someone down, certain people in this world, you got to make sure they down for the count. You can't you can't let certain people get back up. You got to make sure they out of there, because when that person get back up, if he able to move around, move his legs, move his trigger finger, you know who he coming for. So P end up going and give them more information so they could track him down. So with the trial date coming up, P was the star witness for the trial. He was going to tell everybody everything. So you got to remember something. If you got an eyeball witness to someone being unalived, you are not beating that. You are not beating that. That's why Tory Lanez ended up going to jail, because there was an eyeball witness telling that he did what he did. So it's the same situation. P was going to be the star witness, him and some detectives. So what happened was, with all this going against him, he was like, yo, listen, let me just cop out. Keon ended up copping out, right? So Keon ended up going to prison from 2009. He ended up doing 10 years. He got out of prison like 2019, right? Now, when Keon got out in 2019, you got to remember, P was already a big time boss. He was big. He was getting money, everything. He was a big time dude. So Keon got out in 2019, and he only lasted about 7 months before they laid him down. Someone rolled up on him and unalived him. That was it. They put all type of holes in him. That was the end of Keon's story right there in 2019. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and say stuff like P was responsible for what happened to him in 2019. If you want to take that as that, cool. Well, one thing I know is, if you a street dude and you out there being a stick up boy, you busting your gun, this, that, and the third, listen, man, you got to understand something. Fish need to swim. I'm pretty sure P and his friend wasn't the first person this guy ran down on him. Fish need to swim. So no telling how many beefs he had. Plus, you got to add in the fact that if you're someone like that just got out of prison, you trying to get money in your pocket. No telling what he was doing when he got out. So 7 months, that was the end of that. Now, let me tell y'all something about P. P is the most dangerous individual that you will ever run across in the streets, hands down. You see, if you someone that's willing to get busy in the streets, you a problem. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you a problem. Keon was a problem. But when you someone that's willing to get busy in the streets and you willing to rat, on the people you get busy on, you are a dangerous individual. You are a predator at that point. But let me tell you something. It could get worse than that. Because if you're willing to get busy in the streets, rat on people, and you got the bag, playboy, you are an apex predator at that point. No one could F with you. Now, let me compare P to someone like John Gotti. Now, John Gotti is someone that came in through the ranks. He rose through the ranks in the 80s and 90s up in New York through the mob. He was part of the Gambino crime family. Now, this guy put in a lot of pain in the streets, more pain than probably anyone you can imagine out here running around, even P. P has nothing on someone like John Gotti in terms of street activity that the man was involved with. This man rose to the ranks and garnered so much respect from the people around him that they was willing to unalive the mafia boss just to put John Gotti in power. You know how much respect you have to have for a crew to be willing to do something like that? Unalivers only respect unalivers. I can't use the other word, so bear with me. Unalivers only respect unalivers. So at the end of the day, they took out the mob boss to put John Gotti in position in New York. This was a serious move, unheard of. Now, let me explain something to you. When John Gotti got in that position, John Gotti was rich, instant millionaire. You see how some people get so many packages at their house with Amazon Prime? You got so many packages that every day they dropping off packages and they leaving them at your door. That's how it was if you the boss of a crime family. You got so many crews that have to bring you money daily, weekly. They have to drop bags off on you. By the time you got it, you don't even got time to spend it because another bag being dropped off. That's what it's like to be the leader of a mob. The man had money out the yin yang. But one thing about it, John Gotti could never F with P, because even if you run down on John Gotti and fill him up with holes, and John Gotti is basically taking his last breaths and he only got 2 words left to say, and the police come to him and ask him who did it, the only thing John Gotti gonna say is F you. So when it comes to Gucci Mane, maybe this is all on my mind at the end of the day. I never see him leave any comments on P page anymore. He don't send P any birthday shout outs. There's never no interaction between the two in terms of what's being shown on social media. He don't put up videos going to the casino with P no more, even though P still goes to the casino and Gucci Mane goes to the casino as well. Maybe this is just all on my mind. Maybe he's just really, really busy. Or maybe he just preoccupied with his family and he don't got time to really kick it with his friends like he once used to. Or maybe the story really is Gucci Mane standing on business. This is DeMarco Payne with Q and Marco. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back to y'all with the next one.